Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. On our program today is Serge Pequeux. He is the President and CEO of AirWalk Communications. Serge, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Rich.
So before we get started, I wanted to thank you for allowing one of your board members, Chairman Kevin Martin of the FCC, former FCC chair, to keynote the past IT Expo in Miami. That was great.
Well, it was a pleasure to have him there, and thank you for giving him the opportunity. He enjoyed the opportunity, and I think he even said something about AirWalk while he was there.
He did. Yeah, he was an amazing speaker. We had some fantastic comments from the crowd, and I thought he did absolutely great. Gave us a lot of insight as to what it was like at the time, and also he spent some considerable time talking about an area where your company has tremendous leadership, and that is the small cell wireless space. I was hoping to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we are very much involved in the small cell business today. It is a new phenomenon for many of the industry partners. We have been at this for 9 years now, and we are promoting a number of small products that'll go into the networks as an overlay or underlay in the actual cellular infrastructure part of the business. These products are known in the market today as femtocells, picocells, microcells, metrocells. There are many small products that are coming out over the next few years. At AirWalk, we specialize in making these products small, inexpensive, easy to install, deploy, and offer operators a tremendous benefit for services, mainly in buildings, but also where data offload is required.
Now, you feel that the future of communications is going to be these small cells, and certainly companies like NSN and Alcatel-Lucent also have been promoting the concept that small cells and things like liquid networks and seamless networks that are able to jump between the larger cells to the smaller cells are where we're headed. Now, why is that the case?
Well, in the past, the macro systems were designed to offer handoff along highways and cover large areas. However, with the introduction of data devices, and these devices requiring more and more data as we move into buildings, into hotspots, this requirement has demanded a lot more feature sets to be driven by the network itself. So the small cell concept offers higher data rates in a smaller area, but offers very high capacity. And as we can see with the sales of smartphones and iPads and video type products, the requirement for data is increasing. AT&T recently made a statement that their data requirements have increased 8,000% on their network. So to accommodate this requirement, it's important that these small cells are in a local area that can offer these data rates.
And we've seen your company come out with a few products, right? There's something in the enterprise that you've got?
Yeah, we're very much involved in controlling the enterprise market at this stage. We spent a lot of time with operators in defining what their requirement was to have a small base station or a small enterprise unit deployed in the office, in the hotel area, in a very small, busy lobby of a hotel, for example. And these units had to be very simple to install and maintain, as well as be connected to the IP network in the operator to offer the service in that area where high data rates are required. Not only do we offer the high data rates, we also offer the coverage that is needed in those areas. I'm sure you've experienced in your cellular experience that when you go from a macro system into a building, very often you do get a drop call. Well, this is inconvenient to you, and the operators are trying to solve that problem by having the service inside the building as good or better than it was outside. At the same time, if you have a seamless data experience on the macro system, when you go inside the building, you wish to continue that, there must be a seamless handoff. So these little enterprise units offer those services, as well as having one device. The convenience of having one device for one phone number, one bill from the operator, that when you move indoors, you will then have the same experience on the same network, and it will all operate seamlessly with a reasonable amount of coverage in that building.
And you also have a device focused for the consumer market, which carriers typically will resell.
Yes, the consumer market is very much a new concept in that the consumers, especially in North America, they go home and they do not have the coverage that they expect from the operators. So the operators have demanded that the service be placed inside the home. And to do that, we have developed a small femto, is what it's well known in the industry as, which is a small low-power device that offers 4,000 square feet of range around the home, but gives full coverage on both voice and data of the operator's network. These units will be made available to the public over the next few years. The predictions for these units are in the millions of units, and AirWalk is well positioned to offer this product to these operators worldwide.
And do you see Wi-Fi as a competing or adjacent or complementary technology?
Wi-Fi is a complementary technology. It's there today. It's offered on routers and set-top boxes. And in the same way, a femto will be offered on those devices as we progress in offering it through the technology suppliers of those units for set-top boxes and routers and home service.
And it's also worth pointing out that you're able to authenticate your devices so that you don't have unauthorized phone users, right?
Yes. The design of the network for both femto and Pequeux and eFemto, which is the enterprise femto, is there's a requirement that you're registered on that unit. So if you have someone, if you're in an apartment with another femto, that person's handset does not register on yours. You pay the fee to the operator, and your femto operates on your device or your family's devices. So it is very personal, and it only offers you that service as opposed to offering the public service on your device.
Now, I had heard a while back of an example of a company thinking about a technology. I'm not sure if it was ever implemented, but of almost a like a criminal alert system whereby if you're away from your home and a cell phone is picked up in your home that's not supposed to be there, that you would receive an alert. Has that question come up at all, whether you could provide such a service?
Well, those are features, and certainly as we progress with this femto technology, we will be adding features to the unit. The femto unit itself, we see as being incorporated into a number of other devices, as I mentioned earlier, the set-top box and the router. But the feature sets that can go with that, there are many. One possibility is to have a electronic board on your refrigerator where you could send a message to your femto and it could display on as a sticker on your refrigerator. You could link your femto to a device like a home server, and all the monitoring that goes on at home could be relayed to your handset through the femto unit itself. Right. There are also possibilities of, as we get into hybrid cars, electric cars, that you could monitor what the source of level of charge is in the car on a regular basis. And so there are many, many concepts that are being considered at this stage as we go into the future with the little femto.
Now, speaking of the future, we're seeing LTE networks become a reality over time. How does that affect your company?
Well, today LTE macro systems are being deployed. We see Verizon Wireless deploying many thousands of base stations around the country. The next step, the next layer is to put in the small cells to offer better coverage and capacity to their users. And certainly there will be enterprise femtos included in that mix. And then eventually the small LTE femto that will be in the home. What we're doing at AirWalk is we are offering to provide a unit which we call a tri-mode unit, which will offer seamless technology from the 3G to 4G, which is the LTE technology, LTE.
One final question is, where do you want your company to be in the next 5 years?
Well, we're at the bottom of the hockey stick at this stage, and with the orders that we have in-house and the interest in our company, we certainly see a bright future. We are shipping product today. We have orders from major tier 1 operators, and certainly the future looks bright for us. And the enterprise unit has been a very successful product for us, and we intend to grow our business on these small cells.
And okay, I'm going to ask you a follow-up then to that. Just one more last question. If I'm an enterprise and I would like to buy one of these units, do I contact my carrier?
Yes, at this stage, the business model is based around the carrier supplying the unit. The carrier has the licensed frequencies on which it operates, and therefore, yes, it would be advisable to contact your carrier for the enterprise. As we go forward for the consumer model, we see these units being sold through the carrier's distribution stores, and maybe eventually through the retail stores in the public.
Because in theory, they could register themselves. You plug it in and it...
Yeah, that's one of the big features of a femto is what we call plug-and-play experience, where you take the unit home, you plug it into your DSL line or your router, and the unit then registers itself on the network and is available to you within seconds with all the services and features that you had requested at the point of sale.
So Serge, congratulations for having the vision. Was it 9 years ago to...
Yes, it's 9 years since we started, and the concepts are now coming to the forefront, and we certainly hope to supply many of these units to the industry.
Good luck, and hopefully the next time I speak with you, your company will continue its growth and build out some of those features and functions and have all sorts of new things to talk about.
Thank you very much, Rich.